Blessings to you, our friends. We are the Ancestral Medicine Women, healing from the past for the present and the future. You already know some of my life. In the tradition that I come from, it is seen quite early on whether you have the shaman quality or not. So from a very young age, this is your path. This was normal, not just for shaman, but for everybody. Everybody from a young age was seen, their capabilities were seen, and these were harnessed and developed. This was for survival. There were some things that everybody had to do, but there were some things that people specialized in, if you like. For me, this is what I specialized in. So the initiation was different then as well, because not different, but more individual. So it was not some ceremony where you would sit down around a fire and people would drum or sing or dance, and then you would be asked to rise and walk into this. It was not like that. It was not like some ordination in the church of the priest. It was not like that. It was a very individual thing, and it happened when you were ready for it to happen, not before. So you might, for me, the way it happened was that we were traveling from one place to another place, and I did not become unwell, but now you could say that I went into some sort of trance. For you, for now, it would be like a coma, a similar sort of thing that I could not be roused from. And it was a time when I was beginning my menses. So it was a very momentous occasion for me, for any girl. Because in many traditions, many societies, when the girl began her menses, she was ready to be married. So for me, it was that I was not to be married then, but to live this other life of shaman. Then, to begin then, not to be married. We were not married as you are married, but this is a term that you will understand. So this was when I was beginning the menses. And also it is as if we did not measure age. It was measured in this way. You are beginning your menses, therefore you are this new phase of your life. You are something else now. And so the initiation, as you say, was very personal, very individual. And because already I had shown some signs of some nature knowledge, I could see things in the ground, I could see the weather, this type of thing. So already the shaman that we had already had not chosen me, but seen. So when this happened to me on this journey, it was not to be something to be alarmed about. It was just some thing that was natural. It was natural. So I was placed with the shaman for my when a woman is having a baby, there's a small period before the baby where they call it lying in. And it is the time when the baby is about to become, but not sure. Not all societies have this, not all women have this luxury, but it is a time when they are not confined to their own space, but it is like a preparation time for them. They are able to not do the work, and they are able to be rested and to come to some sort of relaxed state, so that when the baby comes, it is the quietness that is more conducive for birth. And for me, it was like that. It was a lying in period where I went through this sort of like transformation. And I will not describe to you the journey that I was on, but it went on for several days. Of course, in the journey it was not like that. It did not seem to me several days, but in the reality of Earth and the planet, it was several days. And then from that point I was with, of course, still with my group, but I was, what is this word, fostered perhaps by the shaman to live with her and to help her and to learn and to understand. It is not really learning. This is the interesting thing with shaman tradition. It is not learning. It is understanding. Because the idea behind the tradition is that you already know. So when you are going on these journeys and this type of thing, and when you are seeing things, when you are doing the rune, or when you are doing the oracle for people, you already know, but it is a matter of understanding. And that is very important because, for example, when you do the rune, you can have their problem, their question, and then they have the rune. And even though it can be, let us say, that the rune says there will be war. Let us just say that. But it is important to understand what that means. Because if you said there will be war and that you do not understand, this means that the person you are saying this to may go and create war. And then this is like the wrong thing, because then they will lose. But maybe the war is going to come to them, which means that if you understand that, then they can prepare, they can be ready, they can get their food, they can make their protection, so that if war does come to them, they can be ready. And this may mean that they do not lose. You see, it is a matter of understanding, not just seeing what there is, what is, but understanding what that means. That is what it is about shaman tradition. Anybody can see, but to understand what they see. This is the important thing. This is why when people go on their journeys and they come across many things and they see things, and maybe it fills them with fear. Maybe they are angry, or maybe they want to fight or something. And that is what their emotion is. That is what their reaction is. But that is just to see. But to understand why, or what, or who, that is the important part. And that is what, for the shaman tradition, it is to learn to be shaman, it is learning about understanding, because you already know. If you have this within you, this, what shall we say, this tradition within you, then you already know. You already see. But you need to learn to understand. Not interpret, to understand. Interpret means that you put some judgment. But that is not what it is. It is to understand. When you are interpreting somebody else from one language to another, there is a level of understanding, but there is also a level of judgment. This person says the cat is blue. in this language. And you interpret that into English and it means nothing. So you have to make a judgment. What do they really mean? And judge, well, it could be this, could be that. But it's not understanding. Because you would say to the person in English, the cat is blue. But underneath that, there are all of these layers. This is understanding, not interpreting, not making judgment.
So, you fostered them?
Yes, but that was normal. Because for some people, they follow in the tradition of their family, whatever this might be. Even in the nomadic group, there was, as we say, certain things that everybody had to do. But there were some things that were, sometimes maybe they were very good at hunting. But they were not good at making the housing. But other people would be very good at making the housing and preparing the skins for the shelters and things like that. But they were no good at hunting. Male, female, does not matter. So, but most people would follow in then the tradition of their own family, because this was considered where you were strong, because it was in your family. Some people, though, this was not the situation, and then they would show some skill in some other area, so they would be fostered by some other family. Of course, they were still with their family, but they would be fostered to learn their skill. So this was the same with me. Yes, I was. But again, yes, I was old even for my time, but we cannot say when, because we cannot say I was 100 years or 200 years or something like that, because it did not work that way for us. And eventually you lose count of how many winters. It's no longer important, especially when there are people that you have known all of your life and they are dying, and then their children also are dying because they have come to their time. And so you do not begin to, it's not important to count how many winters or summers that you have had.